Roberto Elizondo in a lightweight showdown from Texas sets his sights on the pride of Rhode Island, who he hopes to shut down today. At the Civic Center, it is heating up, as is always the case when Vinny Pazienza is on the card in his home state. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert, along with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, and today we have a matchup of the WBA's #1 lightweight contender, Vinny Pazienza, going against Roberto Elizondo, a man who has twice fought for the lightweight title, although he was beaten both times, once by Alexis Arguello and the other time by Edwin Rosario. Now, a victory today for Pazienza could mean a title shot against the IBF champion, Greg Haugen. Ferdy, is a former cornerman. I know that you feel very strongly that this is a fight that could be settled by the matter of cuts.
Yes, Marv, this is more of a surgical adventure than a boxing match. Both men cut easily. Both men have first-time cut men working with them. But the factor is going to be the referee. How is he going to be influenced by this partisan crowd? They've got Pazmania going here. If Vinny Pazienza gets cut, look for a bloodbath before they stop it. But if Elizondo gets cut, the quality of mercy will be much swifter.
We'll be back to take a close-up look at Roberto Elizondo. Pacheco back at the Civic Center in Providence, getting ready for Vinny Pazienza and Roberto Elizondo, a fighter who knows the ups and downs of boxing. Building a professional record of 22 wins and 1 loss, Elizondo dropped his first title shot to Alexis Arguello in 1981. Rebounding with a dramatic knockout of Hilmer Kenty in '82, Elizondo challenged for the WBC crown a second time, but fell to Edwin Rosario in round 1. Following the Rosario loss with 2 successive wins, Elizondo met fellow Texan Frankie Warren and lost a heartbreaker because of a cut sustained in the early rounds. In his last outing with world-rated Raphael Williams, Elizondo knew a matchup with Vinny Pazienza was at stake. Dictating the tempo of the fight, Elizondo was cut on a butt in round 6 and awarded a technical decision in round 7.
Robert, you've had a lot of difficulty with cuts in the past. Will that change your style of fighting? Are you worried about that?
No, I'm not, Freddie. You know, I know I've been cut about the last 2 fights, but I'm not going to worry about it. If I do get cut, I'm just going to fight the same way, because he also gets a problem with cuts. He gets cut too.
How about a decision? You're in his hometown, and he's a big hero here. Can you win a fair decision here?
I don't think so, because I was seeing the Arroyo fight when he fought Harry Arroyo, and he wasn't beating him that bad, and the guys were giving him 5-3 rounds, 5-2 rounds, and I don't think I can win by decision. I'm going to have to knock him out.
We'll be back with the Tasmanian Devil, Vinny Pazienza. 3 revolutionary days. Over 150,000 make their homes in the state capital, as do elements of the costume jewelry and financial industries. Providence, however, currently lacks one major element, a professional sports franchise to call its own. But today, the people of Providence are calling themselves Pazmaniacs, as the flashy talents of a prize fighter have captured the hearts of the city. Vinny Pazienza, son of Angelo and Louise Pazienza, was born a gifted athlete. But when he saw the movie Rocky at age 15, he dedicated himself to the sport of boxing.
He's a fighter. And fighter, you don't make fighters. Vinny's a born fighter. And I could see that to this kid when he was little. He was different from other kids.
Compiling an impressive amateur record, Pazienza turned pro in 1983 and combined the flair of a nightclub entertainer with boxing skills to become a definite showstopper.
Vinny Pazienza has a probably unique situation here at the Providence Civic Center. I don't think there's too many other fighters or too many other cities or buildings that have a situation where a local kid can make good and draw 13,000 fans who love him and idolize him.
When I get in the ring, I consider that to be my stage. I put on my show when I'm up there, and I feel right at home when I'm in that square and the ropes are up.
And to date, Pazienza's showboat approach has paid off with 21 wins and 22 pro outings. But as he stands on the verge of a lightweight title shot, some feel the Tasmanian Devil must temper the flashy presentation and get back to boxing basics.
He must be able to do what he does best, and that's fight, and rather than overdo it and turn on too much charisma. This is the only thing I fear at times. But long as he's there, like I say, the maturity is starting to come into it right now.
Even with all the glitz and glitter, Vinny Pazienza remains in the Providence area and keeps close ties with his family and friends.
All my life, they've been behind me, and they're a great inspiration for me. You know, my father is there, and I really honestly believe that he feels the punches more than I do. So I got a good chin, and I can take a shot, and he gets mad every time I get hit. He gets mad, I think, because he feels it worse than I do. And my mother, she can't even come and watch because she don't want to see a little boy get whacked.
Accepting his role as Providence's franchise, Vinny Pazienza knows that a loss with a title fight looming on the horizon is unacceptable. Too much work and the hopes of too many ride on the outcome of each of his fights. The Tasmanian Devil knows what has to be done.
I can't go out there and lose a fight when I have little kids meeting me in front of my gym, wanting my autograph, cheering my name, and saying, we're going to be at the fight. I'm not going to lose for those little guys. 1987, I look at it as a year of the Tasmanian Devil.
For confidence on the subject of the disco scene. Just a couple of minutes ago on the public address here, they announced that the Vinny Pazienza victory party will take place at a local disco, and this is before the fight.
Well, I think they'll have a little bit to learn. It kind of took a page out of wrestling, but in boxing, it's a little bit different. You better win first before you go to any victory party.
Also, the other day at a news conference, Vinny Pazienza showing us his boxing sense of humor by making a presentation to his opponent, Roberto Elizondo, of a catcher's mask, indicating that Roberto will be doing a little catching in the ring today.
Well, I think the intention was right, but he's a little bit off-center there. What he should have given him was a catcher's mitt. This protects you. The other one catches. So I think Vinny's a little bit off, but as usual, the intention was right, and he smothers people with his charisma and his personality. Elizondo, taken aback by the whole thing, just smiled and said, I'll see you after the bell rings.
All right, and that bell will be ringing shortly. We're closing in on fight time here at the Civic Center in Providence. Roberto Elizondo. Record of 30-5, 23 by knockout out of Corpus Christi, Texas. At one time, Elizondo ranked #1 by the WBC. That was from 1979 through 1984. For 5 years, he twice fought for the world lightweight crown. He was stopped by Alexis Arguello in the 7th round back in '81, and then in March of '84, knocked out, as you saw a moment ago, in the 1st round by Edwin Rosario. He actually announced his retirement after the Rosario fight at the age of 28, and then changed his mind. Crowd on its feet, and they are greeting Vinny Pazienza. People say that Vinny Pazienza is a hot dog. He feels he is an entertainer. But Vinny pulling out all the stops here this afternoon. Get the feeling there's a bullfight atmosphere here, or perhaps it's the Harlem Globetrotters against the Washington Generals. Vinny Pazienza and Roberto Elizondo coming up in a moment. Well, this crowd is ready, and we're set for the introductions. Let's go to the ring announcer, Frank Carpano.
Event, a 10-round lightweight bout. First, the referee, the man in charge, Joe Cortez. And now for the boxers. First, in the red corner from Corpus Christi, Texas, he weighed in at 134.5 pounds, Roberto Elizondo. Now in the blue corner from Cranston, Rhode Island, he weighed in at 135.5 pounds, Vinny the Tasmanian Devil, Pazienza.
The instructions from referee Joe Cortez, the tale of the tape, and it is an even matchup physically. Scoring will be handled by the 3 ringside judges on the 5-point must system here in the state of Rhode Island. The 3 knockdown rule in effect. No standing 8. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round. And the judges, Philip Addison Jr., Dr. Clark Sammartino, and Walter Stone. This is scheduled for 10. Vinny Pazienza and Roberto Elizondo. Pazienza ranked the #1 lightweight contender by the WBA, and a win today could mean a title shot against the IBF champion Greg Haugen. Elizondo's last fight back in November at Corpus Christi won by technical decision in the 7th round against Raphael Williams, who was world ranked going in. His previous fight, January of '85, so he has been inactive. Last January, he was stopped in 7 by Frankie Warren. His opponent stopped the fight with Roberto bleeding badly from a cut, and as you mentioned earlier, that could be a major factor in both corners here this afternoon.
Yes, in both corners, because when I refer to first-time cutmen, I mean it's the first time they're working with him. And Pazienza's corner, of course, he's used to having the master cutman of the Duva stable, Ace Murata, working with him, who is homesick, and we wish him well and hope he recovers soon. Action heating up in the middle of the round as Pazienza goes to the attack, and Elizondo's having none of it, coming right back to him. Difference in the flashiness of the fighters. One in red sequence, the other one in the colors of the Oakland Raiders or the LA Raiders, black and silver. Elizondo on the attack.
And Pazienza trying to tie up Elizondo.
And a lot of head going on there. A lot of butting just went on. And that's what we're worried about. That's both sides have to worry about cuts from butts. And both of them were butting in that case. Their heads were clashing.
And it appears that both are cut. We saw a butting exhibition yesterday with Tony Montgomery going against Donald Curry.
And certainly a confusing ending to that fight. Oh, slip, no trouble. And to finish the statement on the cutman, Ralph Citro has been called in to work in the place of McCoy. McCoy, the manager and cutman of Elizondo. Jackie McCoy, maker of champions, not here today.
Pazienza does bear a physical resemblance to Ray Mancini, but inside the ring, the style closer to Aaron Pryor because he looks to throw punches nonstop from all angles. But Elizondo mixing it up with Pazienza here in this opening round. We'll be back right after this one. Good right hand by Pazienza. A look from above as we get underway in round 2 here at the Civic Center in Providence. Vinny Pazienza's last fight back in November in San Juan, he stopped Roger Brown in 4. Pazienza's biggest win, a second-round knockout over Melvin Fall. A 10-round decision over Harry Arroyo and a 7th-round KO of Joe Frazier Jr.
The Arroyo fight brings to mind some absurd and ridiculous scoring. I certainly hope they've gotten their scoring straight. There were judges giving 5-2 rounds in normal 5-4 circumstances, I think. They have eliminated those judges, and I hope the scoring will be impartial this time.
And Elizondo told you that he felt he had to knock Pazienza out to come up with a victory. He would not want to trust the scorecard. Meanwhile, a nice uppercut by Elizondo.
Elizondo has landed some resounding uppercuts and hooks on Pazienza, whose weakness happens to be defense. He gets hit as he comes in on his all-forward attack. This ring is a Pazienza ring. It's 20 by 20, and it's fast as it can be. It's just canvas stretched over wood, and he can move on it. Ropes are very loose, however.
Is it accurate to say that Roberto Elizondo is slightly over the hill, but still dangerous?
He's certainly proving he's dangerous right now. He's fought pretty even in the first round, and he's doing very well in the second here.
And Pazienza looking to give the impression that Elizondo has not bothered him at all.
Elizondo is pumping in some body shots that should be taking the legs out of Pazienza. Watch his body attack. It's a heavy attack to the body.
And Pazienza up on his toes. Part of the pre-fight psychic, Elizondo said he's seen Pazienza only on television and hasn't been impressed, that he's just another fighter. Final seconds, second round. 31-year-old Roberto Elizondo out of Corpus Christi, Texas, out for round number 3. And in the corner of Vinny Pazienza, Lou Duva telling him, don't fight this guy. You got to box him. You're taking too many hits.
That's exactly what he was doing. He's trying to impress this crowd. This crowd can go both ways. There's those loose ropes. He almost fell through them.
Pazienza getting in with combinations.
And certainly not listening to what Lou Duva said, because he's just laid out all his heavy artillery on Elizondo. Still standing in front of him, still trying to swap with him.
What do you have on the scorecard over the first two?
I have it quite unofficially 10-9. I gave that last round even. As long as Pazienza stands in front of him and tries to match him punch for punch, he is negating his own speed and reflexes. Right now, he's willing to take that chance. Pazienza's letting it all go in these first rounds, which leads you to wonder if this guy's still standing here in round 6, 7, 8, 9. Where's Pazienza going to get the energy?
Pazienza looking sharper in this third round, getting in on Elizondo. Elizondo with a counter. Pazienza scoring with the combination.
He's looking just beautiful the way he does it, but Elizondo, to his credit, can really take a punch.
Pazienza with the showboating bolo windup.
Elizondo just will not move backwards. He just keeps coming, and he's getting really free. Pazienza talking to him, taunting. Elizondo patiently standing, catching it. He needs that catcher's mask right now.
Nothing, says Pazienza, no effect.
Hot dogging that doesn't and will not give him credit when he gets up to the big league.
He hurt Elizondo with the right hand.
He's playing with Elizondo right now. This is cat and mouse right now. Elizondo hurt. He certainly has taken a shellacking this round.
Decisive round for Vinny Pazienza.
Ralph Citro working patiently on the corner. A small cut on Robert Elizondo's left brow, which is the area that he cuts with.
And this is round 4. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Vinny Pacheco from the Civic Center, Providence, Rhode Island. This is Vinny Pazienza country.
Again, Vinny's corner telling him, jab, jab. Just a trickle of blood appearing on the left brow of Roberto Elizondo.
Combination by Pazienza.
Pazienza's looking exceptional. Took a good right hand to the face by Elizondo just then.
Elizondo did land the combination. Pazienza shaking it off. Very dangerous maneuver by Pazienza, who obviously has trying to show that there's no respect for Elizondo.
Boy, he is throwing punches like if he was chopping a tree right now, without regard for counter punching, just letting that right hand go.
Give me that one! Give me that one! Give me that one!
They are screaming from the corner of Pazienza, give me that one. They want the one big right hand. Midway through round 4, scheduled for 10.
And Vinny deciding to take a little break and give him some motion. Those spectacular shoes of his, spangles, beef, and baubles dangling away from his shoes. Strange get up for a fighter.
Well, Vinny Pazienza says he's like Michael Jackson taking the stage when he's in the ring, and he claims he is an entertainer.
Maybe that's what he got from watching the first Rocky film instead of wanting to box.
Now Pazienza just looking to tee off with that right hand, and he roughed Elizondo.
Boy, this busy Vinny Pazienza is fast. He has got reflexes and speed, but he is totally careless when it comes to defense.
Pazienza just picking away with the right hand. Pazienza always looks to finish strong. Final seconds. And that'll do it for round 5. Welcome back to the Civic Center, Providence, Rhode Island. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. This is round 6, slated for 10. And it has been all Vinny Pazienza.
Well, he's well ahead, 25-19, because of those 2-5-3 rounds, quite unofficially, of course. And you would be blind not to know that he's dictating the pace of this fight, and he is taking Elizondo apart slowly. But Elizondo is the type of fighter that takes his profession very seriously, and he knows one good hook can put Vinny on the seat of those red spangled pants. And that's what he's looking for, that one good hook.
Elizondo began his professional career in 1977, starting out with a first-round knockout, following a superb amateur career, winning 80 out of 90, a 4-time state of Texas Golden Gloves champion. Fought for the title twice, lost both to Alexis Arguello and Edwin Rosario.
Well, this movement of Vinny's, when he gets up on his toes, he's light as Sugar Ray Leonard, light as Muhammad Ali, and he throws punches from all angles. That right hand that's been landing as he bounces around, it's really astounding what he's doing with that. There he goes as a right uppercut. You just don't know where it's coming from. Oh, he got nailed. Elizondo nailed him with that left hook he wants. Here it comes. Pazienza kept saying, here it comes, here it comes.
Coming up on a minute to go in the 6th round.
LeDuva in the corner screaming, use that jab, use that jab. They want him to perfect it. Elizondo's corner with a different interpretation. He said he's tired now. Now's the time to come after him.
Come on, Angelo. Come on, Angelo, baby. Come on. Get out of there now. Get out.
The voice you are hearing in the background.
Come on, Angelo. You got 10. You got 10, Angelo.
Pazienza's manager, LeDuva.
Put your hands inside, guys.
And that'll do it for round 6.
You're not using it enough. Understand? And it's got to go here, and it's got to go high. Okay? When you're in close, then you take the shot up here. All right? But let me see you start boxing. Come on. Oh, come here, yeah. Give him.
LeDuva still on that same point from earlier in the bout. Says, don't fight. We want to see more boxing.
I think that's preparation for Greg Haugen. They want him to prepare himself. He can't go like this in a championship fight against a commensurate talent. He's got to pace himself more, and that's what he wants him to do now. He knows he's got this fight if nothing disastrous happens to him.
This is round 7. Roberto Elizondo, who said earlier he needs a knockout to win here before Pazienza's home crowd. No way that he would win on the scorecard. Of course, no way from his performance in the ring. Not even a question of being close. Although he has hung in because Pazienza has been wide open. Vinny Pazienza began boxing at the age of 7. Continued for 4 years, then he drifted from the sport. And he claims at the age of 15, after seeing the motion picture Rocky, the boxing fire inside of him was rekindled. And he and his dad, manager Jim in Providence, called the Father and Sons Gym, converted from an old firehouse. Right hand by Pazienza.
Pazienza coming from all angles. Those punches are coming. Look at that, a right uppercut lead. When do you ever see that?
Watch your hands, watch your hands. Come on, watch your hands.
No matter what the corner says, Vinny just won't still his combative fires. He keeps coming.
Pazienza delivering uppercuts, but still no knockdowns in the bout.
Elizondo, the only thing that's keeping him up is pride. He's beginning to fold. He has no offensive fire. That series of punches took it out of him.
Half minute to go. Round 7. And Elizondo in trouble for the first time.
Cortez looking at this very closely. Cortez about to step in if Elizondo doesn't start to fight.
Round 7 all. Vinny Pazienza.
Like this, and you're standing there doing nothing. Go right into him when he's doing like this, because you know he's going to punch. Start using your jab and work off your jab. You're waiting, you know. Gotta go to work.
Instructions that he's got to go to work, but I don't know where he's going to work to. All he's doing is getting pummeled as round 8 begins.
Vinny Pazienza sprinting in the direction of Roberto Elizondo.
starting a round, and that kind of heated exchange, because Vinny has now got to cruise a little bit. In Elizondo's favor, he caught most of those on the shoulders and the gloves. They were not landing solidly. Very flashy performance, but energy sapping on the part of Vinny Pazienza.
Conversation from Pazienza telling Elizondo that his blows have had no effect. That one did have effect. But Elizondo refuses to go down.
Oh, he blocked him with his shoulders. Cortez in there looking very closely.
This is now the bullfight atmosphere that we discussed earlier. Crowd just waiting for the knockout.
Elizondo saying, come on, you're not hitting anything. But he is. He's hitting soundly. Cortez looks like he's dying to end this fight. Elizondo will not let him, though, because Elizondo keeps punching back.
Less than a minute to go in this 8th round. What does this tell us, A, about Pazienza's punching power, and that he has not been able to put Elizondo down, but he's been teeing off, or B, the fact that Elizondo is able to hang in?
Well, what does it tell us about Elizondo's heart and jaw? Vinny's getting sloppy and tired, and well, he should be.
Combination by Elizondo. That is it for the 8th round.
I want you to box, okay? When you box, Vinny, you can't do nothing wrong out there, right? And you're getting off your combinations.
Give him a rinse.
You got this here?
Rinse that good. Relax. Just take a deep breath and relax, all right?
Hey, all right, now let me see you go out there and box. Box. Come on, get out. You got this here? Right. 9th round, don't let it go. Let me see you start boxing, okay? Let me see you start going. Box this guy, come on.
Same message from Lou Duva as he sends out Vinny Pazienza for round 9.
Pazienza's got a fighting heart. I don't think he listens very much to the corner. He was warned right before he came out by the referee, Joe Cortez, not to use his shoulder. Really doesn't need to resort to dirty tactics. Twice at the end of each round, he threw a punch after the bell. I mean, considering he's belabored this guy with about 150 punches, the extra one really isn't necessary. Had he not been in his hometown, he'd have been roundly booed for that.
We'll have more boxing next week on Sports World. Junior welterweight contender Frankie Warren will go up against former champion Gene Mad Dog Hatcher. Scheduled 10-rounder out of Sacramento, California. That'll be next Sunday starting at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. The mixed pairs bodybuilding championship scheduled to be seen here today will not, because of the link to the basketball game with North Carolina knocking off Virginia in overtime, and the fact that this fight is carried now to a 9th round. So that will be seen at a later date.
Vinny is boxing more this round. He did not mount the very strong attack. He was throwing punches that last round from the soles of his feet, especially the uppercut. That uppercut right there that's been landing all afternoon long. But the gritty Elizondo comes back and even mounts an attack of his own, although I must say his punches have no steam in them whatsoever.
What do you have on the scorecard?
Oh, a runaway 40 to 30 at this time. I don't think there's anyone that can give Elizondo any points except on heart.
Pazienza looking to get the crowd into it. providing his own cheerleading tactics.
You have to go all the way back to Sugar Ray Leonard in his cockier days to see a guy more in command of the ring and of his sense of being in the ring. He's playing now. He's even orchestrating the crowd. He's punching to at his whim, at his time.
Did you see the hot dog warfare between Pazienza and a Macho Camacho? 10th and final round. Vinny Pazienza in the red. Comes in at 21-1, 17 by knockout. Roberto Elizondo in the black, 31 years old, from Corpus Christi, Texas. Record of 30-5. And it has been all Pazienza plus a lot of showboating from Vinny Pazienza. And Elizondo nearly caught him.
He caught him. There's just not much steam in that. What would Greg Haugen have done if he'd have caught him with a left hook like that coming? Mercifully, the expected bloodbath has not materialized on the part of either fighter. That principally, I believe, because the punching has all been one way. They have not been close to each other. There isn't any opportunity to butt or to get hit by elbows because Pazienza has kept Roberto Elizondo at bay with a barrage of punches.
There was that cut earlier suffered by Elizondo, but no problem. That was earlier in the bout.
Proving once again the value of a good cut man in Ralph Woodruff, starting to bleed just as we speak.
Pazienza again measuring. Halfway point, 10th and final round.
Well, I think even this highly partisan crowd would not like to see a knockout now. Yes. Elizondo has deserved the respect of his crowd. He stood there, he's fought, he has not backed up one step.
They take the knockout. Under a minute to go in this final round.
Come on, we got it.
Closing in on a half-minute remaining in the fight. No knockdown at all, although Elizondo has been steadily hammered.
Has going for the knockout. He landed a hard right hand.
Final seconds. Elizondo just looking to last it out. No, he won't. In the final seconds of the 10th round, it is stopped by Joe Cortez. They're calling the official time 2:56. Round 10.
I told him the right hand right over that guy.
For the TKO. We'll be back to talk with Vinny Pazienza right after these messages. For the official announcement, let's go back to the ring. Here's Frank Carpano.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stops the fight at 2:56 of the 10th round. The winner by TKO, Vinny the Pazienza.
So the crowd reacting as Vinny Pazienza could not put Elizondo away until those final seconds, but it goes down as a TKO. Let's go to the fight, Doc.
A tough fight, Vinny. It's just an indication you can punch real hard, or is this guy just got the chin of the century?
First of all, I love you, Mom. I told you not to worry. They don't come any harder than Roberto Elizondo. Tough opponent. It's time to realize, boxing critics and self-acclaimed experts, the Tasmanian Devil is no fictitious character. I'm for real, and I'm going after each of the 3 champions and knocking them out one by one. I know you're watching, Greg. Let's get it on.
Greg is Greg Haugen, and that's the next championship fight. Lou Duva, the manager, is it the next championship fight?
Listen, Bob Arum from Top Rank is his promoter. Bob Arum, if you got any guts, sign his damn contract with Vinny Pazienza, and let's get it on if you got any guts.
And a quiet challenge in a gentlemanly fashion from Lou Duva as we go back to Marv Albert at ringside.
Well, Lou letting some wrestling tactics seep into his contractual philosophy. The IBF lightweight champion Greg Haugen appears to be next for Vinny Pazienza. The WBA champ is Edwin Rosario. The WBC lightweight title holder is Hector Camacho. And this is how it ended. With only 4 seconds remaining in the 10th and final round, Joe Cortez stopped it. Vinny Pazienza with the TKO of Roberto Elizondo at 2:56 of round 10. We'll be back here in Providence in just a moment. Style of Vinny Pazienza, but do you feel it was a little bit too much showboating?
I do. I mean, it sort of offends your sense of decency when you see a guy so clearly superior to the other man and showboating on top of beating him half to a pulp. But there was another guy came along like that, did the same thing, and he overcame it by class in the ring and out. That was Muhammad Ali. If he does the same thing, he can get away with it, but he should tone it down. He's going to have to if he fights Greg Haugen, because Haugen will knock him sideways if he plays around like that in front of him.
Now, that is part of the psyching out an opponent, but with a guy like a Haugen, or should he ever go up against a Camacho or a Rosario, I would think he'd have to pull back. I can't see him getting away with that type of stuff.
Oh, he wouldn't get away with it with Rosario. He would be on the canvas thinking about it before he got away with it. Rosario presents a different problem than Hector Camacho, is an equal showboat and egomaniac, so both of them would do some kind of dance. It would be the last tango in New York when they dance.
All right, next week we have more boxing coming up on Sports World. It'll get underway at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. It'll be Frankie Panchita Warren going up against Gene Hatcher. How do you size that one?
Same kind of fight. 2 bulldogs just standing in the middle of the ring. Every time we've seen Frankie Warren, he comes on like a wound-up tank. And, of course, Hatcher's called Mad Dog. And he called him Mad Dog because he's crazy in the ring.
All right, that'll be next week here on Sports World. Once again, it was Vinny Pazienza by TKO at 2:56 of round 10.
Made more of a